Man, there's so many positive speeches today. We heard a positive speech from Clara. Molly had a very positive speech. Jenny, except for Jack. Jack, your speech was sick. That was a good speech. But this is my first time evaluating Molly. Found that, so it's very special. And one of the things I really like about Molly's speeches is her eye contact and her smiles. And I don't know if you noticed, Molly has these cute little dimples on her face. I think it makes people want to smile and keep good eye contact on her. I'm not hitting on your girlfriend, by the way. I'm just mentioning she had very good facial expressions, I felt, with a squinting of the eyes. And I thought that really helped in some of the movements, the smaller movements she's had throughout her speech. The theme of her speech, when I was listening to it, actually it had a lot of similarities with Clara's, right? It talked about perfection, and it talked about being not perfect or imperfect. And I thought to myself, man, we talk a lot about us not being imperfect. Actually, then I had this thought, and it occurred to me that none of us are perfect, but what is perfection? It's actually made up, right? Perfection is made up. So perfection, because it is made up, it basically means we're perfect just the way we are. So instead of thinking in the negative that we're imperfect, we're actually all very perfect, okay? So I thought that could have been a message that you can add into your speech to make it more positive. I really connected with your speech because of the imposter syndrome. And I do have it as well, especially when I first started in the blockchain industry. I was just learning, just like most of the people who were getting into the industry. There's no university that you can go to learn about blockchain. You just had to do it yourself and learn it. And I felt I was never good enough, and I felt I was faking it. And even today, there are moments when I feel like, man, I'm not that great. But as you think about it, it's just a process. We're along. We're not looking at the final destination when you're like the blockchain president of the world. There is no such thing. It's just a process, and you're always going to be the best version of yourself the day after tomorrow, right? So some of the improvements, Molly, I have for you is to prepare ahead of time. So you took like about a whole minute or 30 seconds preparing this on the board, right? And I thought it was good. You're trying to make a point. However, it really took away from the opening of your speech. And I thought that was kind of, it was a shame to see that. And some of the ways you can emphasize, and so like instead of writing it, you could have the board, just like Alex was saying. Prepare that ahead of time so you can show it, right? And I know you were trying to emphasize that point, and you can emphasize by vocal variety, repetition, using body language, audience interaction. And also you can emphasize by using bigger movements. Some of the bigger movements, so you talk about dancing like nobody's watching, you can have bigger movements and visualize those like no one's watching. These are some of the suggestions I have for you. It was a great speech, and I hope I have another opportunity to evaluate you. Thank you.